We jump in?
Yeah, let's get it.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bear Cave. This is an exclusive show that happens when it happens, you know what I'm saying? And we throw the bat signal out, and everybody that could be in this space, you're blessed to be here, and I hope you enjoy yourself and you're engaged. My name is Big Zoo, and this is the Bear Cave. I'm joined tonight by my brethren, you know what I'm saying? Yo, the God. His name is Prolific One, and share something with the people.
Yo, what's good, y'all? You know what it is. It's family. Three Kings is still in the building. We in the place. We in the basement right now. Original co-founders of that thing that we all call EO Dub that we love and admire so much. And here to celebrate the new album, here to talk to my bro who's, intimately aware of all the details of my life as he's my brother. So it's only right that with an honest album like this that I talk with family.
That's a fact,
you know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna be the Zoo Oprah tonight,
ready to go.
And I'm ready to go in, man. We have many different things going on, and the album is called In the Red. Right. So I'd really like for you to start off with the theme and the title of the album. What is the science behind being in the red?
Yeah, in the red, bro. So I found myself kind of bleeding out here, bro. Maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, it seemed like all my shit fell apart, and if I was running a business and if life was my company and I looked at my books was in the red.
In the red, yikes.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking at my balances, it wasn't balanced. You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking at my assets versus my debts, it was not balanced.
It was not balanced.
And so it was appropriate to name the album In the Red, as at that time I felt like my life was in the red. I was really feeling like sick and lost.
Wow. That's heavy because we've discussed that in the past, but I want to unpack some of these things for people who may not be aware of the depth of some of what this album is about. Beyond that whole company analogy, which I really like, you spoke to this being very personal on this album. When we talked about our albums, I joked that I often point my finger out at the world, and you were pointing your finger really introspectively. So how about those themes that hit the album?
So, like I said, I found myself at a crossroads in life. And so I felt like the art for me was a way to get therapy, And so it was important that I was able to go, in the studio or go in the lab and write things that were honest to what was happening to me. I took poetic license and I try to use metaphor as much as I can, but when you're being honest, you're being honest. So it's not like I set out to go in the studio and write songs that are introspective. It's just kind of what fell out of my soul at that time.
It's just how it organically came out.
That's a fact, bro.
So let me do this, bro. I just want to give them a taste. I personally, we haven't even discussed this, but I'd like to jump around. So
honestly, let me just hold you there. I didn't want to talk about the project yet because I wanted to do this for the people, right? I feel like the content and the reaction and kind of like this discourse that we would be having over this type of situation anyway is important that we share that with the world.
I love it.
Thank you for saving the feedback, and I want to hear what you got to say.
Well, we're gonna play a piece of the song. This is literally the first song, and it is called.
I Am.
I Am.
Shout out my man Rob Flo, DJ Rob Flo produced this joint.
Let's hear a little bit of this.
Just listen. All right, we listening, y'all. If you got a drink at home, put up a drink. Salud.
I am all that I am.
Hey.
I'm not your average man. I'm your shelter, protector, the proctor, the mentor, the essence I am.
The Bear Cave, y'all, exclusive. So, only here. That's where you're gonna get conversation like this. Only right now.
I've moved steadily, crafted my own mold, improved each version, iterative grown. Develop all manner of habit and false phobias. Boogeyman, Candyman, fears, a cornucopia. If I'm honest, I'm nothing at all. Molecules accumulated, spinning a ball. Drifted through space till the crows come to call. Purpose for certain, I'm fit for a fall. Yeah, was born different, unique to this solar system. I've been hidden beneath layers of cynicism. Plus in prison, indoctrinated and on a mission. Deep vision suspended and steeped in superstition. Divine order with right time and I'm back now. Been traveling, piloting over tracks, wow. They There's no turbulence, altitude is cruise worthy. Welcome back, y'all. Buckle up, we on the new journey.
Hold on.
Woo!
Hold on.
Real.
So there's pieces
Tap
to
those
this.
hearts.
There's pieces to this that even the artwork that you connected to this particular song. For those who don't know, there's artwork connected to specific pieces across the album, and that workhorse element. How did the image is a horse like dressed, kind of in a man's clothing. Powerful imagery, but how did that develop?
Yeah, so for me, the art and the visual depiction of the music is just as important as the music itself. And so I wanted to make sure that, and this is part of the rollout, is every song has art and we'll have artwork for it. Right? So the In the Red album is also a collection, and it'll be an art collection ultimately, where all of the imagery correlates with the music. So on I Am, I had seen pieces by my brother Jake Jenin, Jakey J. And Jake does anamorphic art, to your point, is where he takes an animal and he puts it into like a humanistic situation with clothes and what have you. And so when I think about the record, I think about me talking about this epic, this life, right? This journey, this work that I'm putting in. And so the horse resonates with me for a lot of different reasons. But the workhorse, and that motif. So when he asked me, like, what's the animal? Right? Because this conversation, I was like, yo, I think it's the horse, bro. Like, I always felt like the horse is a graceful, strong, proud animal.
Thoroughbred.
But they work they ass off. They
That's
carry that load.
They be carrying people across deserts.
You know what I mean? So when you think about even the vehicle, we talk about horsepower. How many horses you got under the hood, right?
That's a bar.
And so like my whole shit on that I Am record is about maintaining that horsepower.
Love it.
That's the depiction of that. Shout out Jake.
Shout out Jake. Shout out all the artists that have supported this project. And you'll see if when you go look at the Prolific One site, you'll see the artwork connected to it as well. Speaking of which, I want to shift gears. And this particular song resonated with me. I'll just preface it by saying that it's produced by Jess James Figueroa. It's called Come On, Shun. And it's literally about the relationship with you and your son. People just get a taste of this one. And I really we're gonna talk some personal stuff after this.
Come on, son, why you hiding acting brand new? Young man, what I ever do to you? Since birth, we bonded fresh prince. Young Simba, a lion, poor prince. Wash, rinse, whatever they all told. Come home to child of the throne's cold. Time to study your talent and heart soul. Victorious spot where marks gold. Standing issues to wipe out my vessel. I'm in your fiber, the matrix that connects you. Sun seed coming out the shade. Break the cycle, level up your game. Time's pain, but loving you the same. Grown man rapping, never caught the fade. Always rode the wave, support I always gave. Those roads I had to pay, just throw it on your way. Hey, son, you kidding me? You literally blessed. Cash checks, assets, boy, give my respect. Son, why you blame me? Give me the press. Half steps, cold-hearted, missing out the best. Son, for you was gaining the crest. Out of order, be in line, get centered again. Son, it's all love. Live in my chest, heartbeat, and that fire in my gut, then I won't rest.
Okay. All right. End of an era.
Hold on now. I'm gonna let you take the lead in the depth in which we go into this record, right?
Yeah.
What's the inspiration for this record?
The record inspiration originally was the relationship between myself and my oldest son. And when I wrote the song, I really thought that was what the whole record was about. And it talks about him and I having a falling out, me being close to him as a young man, and as life progresses and you evolve and change and things affect you. Sometimes you find separation from your parents, from your life, from your family. So it's about my perspective, right? As the dad being like, yo, like, how did I fuck up? Like, what did I do? What's really going on? And you hear the energy of the song is really like, it's aggressive, hard, tough guy energy. And a lot of people think I'm talking about a dude or somebody who I got beef with, but if you listen to the bar work, it's very vulnerable.
Yo, this
And
is
then-
where I'm leaning to.
Yeah.
And to your point, the tone is not like, "Oh, my son, where are you?" Right? And I just want to say to the room and the people where you would only get an interview like this, I guess, is knowing the inner workings of that relationship and the dynamic of it. It's really pivotal when I think about how vulnerable you were with the pen. So first of all, for everybody who's out there who's listened to this song or who's plans to listen to Come On Sean, listen to the bar work really, because he, it's an example that I'm aware of where he just opened up your vein and just wrote from your vein. So to that point, and speaking still to Come On Sean, how important was it for you to be this like vulnerable on this project?
I mean, like I said earlier, like it's just therapy for me, right? So at the time when I'm writing the songs, I'm just tapping emotion. This is not an album or records that I wrote for commercialism. It's not an album or a record that I wrote for fans or for others to look at and hold in some kind of regard. It was really just about me like getting shit out of me. And even the conversation that I had with Jess, I was broken up, laid up, thinking about my shit. And he reached out and we were talking and he was like, yo, it was really good. And I was just like, yo, this was really good, bro. Like,
And you put it on about what was going on with you.
just like, yo, I'm fucked up. I'm going through family shit. Like, I'm feeling like I need medicine. And like, I said this the other night, talking to somebody, I was like, when I called on those loved ones and those friends and fam, and I was like, yo, I'm fucked up. They sent me medicine. Right? And these beats and these tracks and these landscapes, these canvases effectively became those pills the doctor would be prescribing to you. This is the medicine. So like,
That's a great answer, sir.
Approach wise, it was like no holds barred. Like say everything. Keep it creative, keep it poetic, but say everything, bro.
I respect
and
that.
that record is one of the records where like I lost my shit at the studio. Real talk. Like
who was physically with you in the
None.
studio?
None is my therapist, yo. For all of y'all out there in the world, like, and he knows this. Rod is like, and I praise this dude every time I pull up online. I'm like, yo, bro, thank you, and not just for like the engineering and shit, because that's like cool, but the time spent and the conversations and the human connection, especially at those times for me, like,
It's pivotal.
like that brother pulled me through, not just with the medicine and the work, but just to be there.
Just to be there. Yo, this is
God bless you, bro.
this is the Bear
God
Cave
bless you,
show.
bro.
My name is Big Zoo. This is my first guest, Prolific One. It's the Bear Cave. Welcome to the Bear Cave. But I'm gonna already make a segment of the Bear Cave show. We're gonna count how many times people show love to Nunzio on this show. So put ding ding, that's one, right? And he's that dude. So salute to Nunzig and salute to this being such a cathartic process.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I want to lean
And
into
I want to shout my man, Art by Eyebrows, the Crew Eyebrows, who's the artist who created the Come On Son, motif artwork. Because it's just, again, another artist who I spoke to, who we talked about. He's, put his heart and soul into the shit. And shout out all my artists and all my, people in the community that's been supportive.
Yeah. Yo, I like that. He said his family, during the difficult time, his family sent him medicine. Let's highlight that. The medicine might have come in the form of a beat, a phone call, a text, a DM, a shout out, a repost of somebody's album. If I put something out and you repost it, I'm like, good look.
It fills your cup.
Yo, let's send each other medicine, you heard? Yo, this is a record that's amazing. There's a new video out about it. Let's give them a little taste of it.
Hey, spicy time. I'm out to get filtered. You're gonna get filtered for this one. Hot sauce. Bro. Ladies.
Come show me
your body. Lobby. Better for Bobby.
Stop and go, make it 6 stop rocking the molly. Make
Now,
it
horny.
Show me your hobby.
Shout my bro. See us.
Who thirst been dry and ain't wet in his eye. What it take, I'm a coast and roll karate. Mad homie in the squad.
Yeah.
Spice baby.
Hey.
You say come inside. We have it real on your story. Ring like IG. It's great. Game inside. Cakes inflated, grown and planted, grown and planted. Hey, gone. Good time. Oh, she really wants a good time. Hey. All I really wants a good time. Good time. Get out of here. Oh, she really wants a good time. Good time.
Yo, hold on.
Dude,
I hope y'all listening to these.
That's a hit record.
I hope y'all listening to these hit records, yo.
Hit records.
I feel like, I'm one of those brothers that feel like when my man gets something dope, I get it too. You get a new whip, I be like, Dad, we got a whip. Yo, my man got a hit record. Guess what, son? We got one. We got one. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, Honeymoon. Let's talk about first the relationship with the producer, Charlie Wonka.
Yo, EO Dub backbone, whole shit, right? Skeleton, structure, scaffold, all that.
Tell us where you met Charlie Wonka.
Charlie Wonka come through to this EO Dub beat challenge that I'm judging one night.
Shout out to Soul, shout out to Dama, shout out to
Dama.
Who else does that show? Who did you say? Nunzio?
Nunzio.
That's two. We got the two.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm judging this shit. And this dude that I never met before plays this miraculous beat that it's a sample from like an old school pimp movie, and it's like a special sound effect, and it's like this is all this crazy beat challenge shit.
It's
yo.
Benin.
And all of a sudden I hear, can we hear it again? Can you play what I heard?
Different octaves saying my name.
What beat is that? All right. So you know what I do. Full-fledged, like hit the homie, like yo, let's do that. Let's do that record in a big way. Send that to me. And like, bro, like 2 weeks later, it was done. But I don't really sing and shit like that. So I had to recruit.
You do sing on this album.
You do. I
have it in my notes.
Okay, we can talk about my singing. I guess I do sing. You got me. But I needed that Sinclair on it.
You needed the cleaner. You needed the boss.
Yo,
ladies and gentlemen,
Sinclair.
salute to Sinclair. Sinclair,
Johnson,
the air
man.
conditioner. Look at him. The air, as in the heirs to your throne. The air conditioner. Look at him on IG. Incredible vocalist, dynamic support to the EO Dub movement.
Yo, he makes all things better. You know what I'm saying? So I brought the record to Sinclair, and the rest is history. You see the visual for it. I want to shout out Jacob, my brother God. Jacob McCoy, who is the visual god out here for End of the Week. And I got to shout out my man Jimmy Aponte, who is the visual artist that I worked with and collaborated on that. And he was the art director for that. I got to shout out Aida. I got to shout out Blonde & Co. I got to shout out all the ladies in the
Kendra's
video.
in that video.
Because
Verda's in that video.
Verda's in that. Kayla's in that video. Anna, Street Art Desire, My Life in Yellow. Like, really, like, when I go out in these streets and I be at my events socializing and shit, these are like my gang aficionados. They hold me down.
They hold you down. Shout the gang. Shout to Kendra, the queen.
Love y'all, man.
Shout to Verda. Yo, how about this though? In the actual album listing, the numbers of the album,
yes,
it's interesting that Honeymoon comes before Wedding on the album, right? I'm doing the Wannington. Now, traditionally, you have a wedding, then you go on the honeymoon. And your album specifically is the honeymoon and then the wedding.
Talk to me about that. Tell me how you read that before I give you the answer.
I first took it like the magical part kind of is the honeymoon period, right? And maybe that's the feeling that you have early on that leads to a wedding. Correct. I mean, that's my shot. Okay.
It's some foreshadowing, pause. You know what I'm saying? But doesn't the honeymoon always come first? Isn't it always like party champagne, knock it down, Wow. And like that's a big part of the culture in the society right now is that
you ain't say you were spitting grown man bars on this episode. I didn't know we were.
Everything I'm doing is grown man life shit. You know what I'm saying?
Your man said,
Isn't it real though? Isn't that like a reflection on societies that we rush to the honeymoon before we even get through the wedding?
That might be a bar, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean,
if you're watching currently, that's a bar.
So it was very intentional that the honeymoon record go before the wedding record. And for me, like setting up the album and designing it for the listener and the playlist, I'm thinking about bright spots, giving you an emotional kind of move and shift, right? So I could give you the Mad Horny record, and I could get a little, sexy with the rap,
Little spicy, little sazon,
but
little adobo.
once you get too hot, I hit you with the wedding shit, and you want to cool out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
This we're gonna do
wanna go
back
to
to
the
back.
beach
We're gonna do
with
back
your
to
shorty.
back.
You want to have a picnic.
We're gonna
You feel
play.
me?
This is Wedding, y'all.
Hey,
Prolific One album. It's
In
called
the Red.
In the Red. We just vibing to it. Welcome to the Bear
they
Cave.
want to hear it louder. That means you got to go hear it on your Apple Music.
Hey.
Hey,
Keep me close and share the most, my deepest
Filter
darkest
time.
secrets. But hidden close where love is toast and the stars are feeling. This memory's a treasure, keep it closer, we revealing our passions, wants, pain for each other's healing. So that one day we'll live as one and share a better ceiling. With every second we fall deeper, now I'm double kneeling. Bring it here, this is forever, love you gave me meaning. You are my world, you set me free, you gave me wings. You are the woman, bearing life, the blessed queen. More than a vessel, intelligence, the spirit sings. If you're a mirror reflecting heaven, am I a king? You give me strength to crown our hearts by every
yo, play this for your ladies, son. Play this for your boo-boo, dog.
anything you needed, I'll be it, so much more.
Sinclair. Hey, hey.
When I awaken and I take a breath, I'm so grateful to see your face, a soft caress. Warm glow, morning dew over the grass. See mist spraying across the grains of sand. You hold it down,
Gravity over hollow ground.
safe and sound security when the blood's loud. And I
All right, stop.
That you make me proud. You silver line the blue skies when there's not a cloud.
Cloud. Wait, there's
Come
more.
on, man. Fuck,
Um,
man, this grade A. This is top tier spitting, yo. With an R&B bad under it. Kidding me?
man,
Shout out
I
Sinclair.
love you more tomorrow. There's
Yeah.
some bars on this
I
one.
love you more tomorrow than I
On
love
every word, there's something when I took the vow. On every word,
I did when we took
the
the vow.
vow.
I love you more tomorrow than I love you now. I
Bar.
love you more today than I did yesterday.
Today.
I'm swept away on you in each and every way. Way out. Never been a waver, a shadow of a
Come on,
doubt.
man, come on.
You made me believe when I was down, almost out. Forever love with you when I'll never be without.
Yo,
Come on,
ladies
man.
and
So
gentlemen.
that's a your shorty,
Yo,
son.
welcome to the Bear Cave. This is an
Yeah.
exclusive show, wow, exclusive. You only get in this live in the Bear Cave, and we unpacking the In the Red album by Prolific One. Honeymoon, man.
Honeymoon, man.
The honeymoon was magnificent, but then the wedding.
Yeah.
You know, go give me some of the science behind the wedding. Again, who produced it?
So that is a Clip Smoke beat.
Wow.
Shout out Clip Smoke.
Wow.
Yo. That is
Clip Smoke
one of the
gang.
most incredible. I mean, you already know.
He's one of my
we put that
producers.
work in with Clip Smoke.
Clip Smoke is a
You know what I'm saying? He's
Clip
on that.
Smoke produced Fear
He's
Not.
on that.
He's there. He's
You
one of
already
those.
know. So Nunzio is the plug.
Dang, that might be the third non shout out today.
Yeah, Nunzio's
Let's
the
just
plug.
keep counting that.
You know, he walks around with a bag of beats. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could envision like some old like Yoda, like homie, like fly homie, who's just like, yo, here's a bag
Here's
of
a bag.
beats. So he dropped the bag of beats.
Yeah, he also carries other bags too.
He has many
hilarious.
bags.
That's some different bags.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Nah, but
you
yo,
want a little left right now. You know what I'm saying?
just
Let's keep this
just
in.
for fun.
Come
But
on.
yo, the content again of the music though.
Yes.
Beats is Benin,
Alright.
Clip Smoke connected.
So the wedding concept. So I had thought about relationship birth, right? And those moments where you fall in love. You know what I'm saying? And I think I switched the verses around, but the first verse might have been the second verse, and the second verse might have been the first verse. I'm not quite sure which came first, but really I wanted to capture poetically that feeling of like, I'm falling in love with this person and I'm madly in love with this person. And I want to like almost write a romance novel with the song.
Yeah.
Really, right? And I wanted to be lyrics and words that a person would say to the person that they love at the altar when they're dancing at their
Wow.
wedding together. I wanted them to put on this record and for the whole crowd and the whole party to resonate and feel that love.
Well,
frequency,
let me
you know?
take there. The reason I even chose this, it's interesting what you're unpacking.
Yeah.
Because the reason I chose this one to talk about, and I actually captured those specific bars, is because, and I'm speaking to the audience here, I'm speaking to the world here, in that I think that love thing or that being together thing is just not discussed enough. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of brothers don't see the value in a healthy, warm, like loving relationship. I know I'm on my Dr. Phil shit right now, but let me break it down to even just a practical place. When you out here with mad shorties, it's definitely sending out a lot of different energy and you're spreading your energy thin. When you invest in one woman, it gives you this bandwidth to attack your art and your work and your life in just a cleaner way, because you're not spreading your energy so thin. It's more consolidated. That's just the zoo bar for this evening, but no one talks about that as much.
And like for me, I feel like there's just so much vapid music, and the concept of love has been lost somewhere, right? And we like quickly will hear a song about fuck the shit out of you,
Exactly.
and the women will sing it, right? And the girls will
want to
sing.
talk about that. That's
You know what I'm saying?
interesting.
So
Topic
for
here.
me, it's important as a grown man who has a daughter, who has a mother, who has loved ones in my family,
Yeah.
that I create music that is sonically like feeling good, but that's also beautiful. Right?
Yeah.
And that if you hear your son singing that record or any person, there's love in the word. And that's powerful. That's the spells that we cast in that. You know what I'm saying? So it's critical for me that when I'm casting spells and when I'm spitting bars, that they're about manifesting love, beauty, joy, light. You know what I'm saying? And not
God
just
bless you.
perpetuating the bullshit. Big facts.
Wow. Hope everybody's hearing that.
Big facts.
If you heard that, if you agree with some of that sentiment, throw some energy into the chat.
Thanks. I
Salute
love
to
y'all.
Ghost Knowledge. Salute to your again.
Big up.
Morning Cup of Culture. What's good, Brooke? I did a podcast with her
What up?
today. I did a podcast with Brooke today
Mhm.
at a studio with a dude named Nunzio.
Wow.
That's 4 Nunzio
That's
references.
crazy.
tonight.
How does
Four.
that-
We're
how's
at
there
we're at
another
four.
Nunzio?
We're at 4 Nunzio references, ladies
How's
and
that
gentlemen.
possible?
Shout out to Bronx Genetics. Shout out to Equality. Shout out, man. Come on. Let's dig something else, yo. Let me go to a special place. in
Yeah,
my
yo.
heart.
So if you know any DJs that DJ weddings, you'll send them that wedding record.
Ooh,
Carnage, what up,
boy?
I hope Carnage
Lionel
is
Richie,
in here.
what up?
Carnage, B-Dot.
I gotta go filters on the ground. Soul movement, soul movement. Origins deep, one samples born. And yeah, I feel if you about to sound born. Baby on the beat before I learn how to speak. Mommy let myself set a soul moving feet. Over rhythm waves while developing the sleep. Awake to the pulse of the African beat. And pulse in the kicks from the home. Got 5 beats flaring in the ribs. Down to the toes, tips of the fingers. Energy exchange so intense that it lingers. The lights, joy in the music, harmonic delights. Entering the multiverse, vibrating crazy. Got a million super wide, rolling wavy. The true colors ain't the second soul. Derivative, indigenous, the souls in the flow. Bro!
Magnificent. Powerful hip hop. And ancestry. Woo! You can feel your.
You know what I'm saying? Hear your song, hear your songs, hear your songs.
We gon' pray over your bones, thank the God for the blessing. So when we move, come from passion, oppression. Manifested body moves mass in the essence. Elevated consciousness, physical impression.
Oh my God.
Stand still, divide, break gravity. Axis on the wide, suspended reality. Here our ancestors move across the shadowlands. Stand the floor, with a single stroke battle scenes. Let the warrior tribe commence, break bones. Body song, till it in your bones. The style that shit. Sorted acrobatic, aerodynamic madness. Move natural, select earth specimens. Capture the rhythm you dance. Pure elegance. Soul medicine, summon the stars to the snares, barbarians. soul movement.
Yo, stop, yo. Stop. I could play that record 17 times.
Hey yo,
Ladies
Carnage,
and
what up?
gentlemen, shout out to Carnage who produced that record. Shout out to V Dot who had cuts on that record. So first, weave me through the theme. I want to go with the theme first.
Yeah.
This song too, it's called Soul Movement, SOL Movement. It actually has an accompanying video that's also really
Shout
dynamic.
out my
But
video.
first, give me the
Great
theme
cuts.
and how that developed.
So again, EO Dub,
Yeah,
Beats Challenge,
come on,
Carnage,
come on.
playing futuristic neo-African soul funk music.
Word.
And I was like, yo, what the fuck is those beats, bro? Like I ain't really heard beats like those before. And so I hit the homie, you know how we do. Can I get something? He sent me the cookup.
Medicine. Sent you the medicine.
And I felt like it was imperative that I not take his beat, that futuristic funk African soul, and just do some bar up regular shit.
I'm so
on it.
nice.
You know what I'm
with it.
saying?
I'm dope.
So conceptually, it reminded me of movement and dance and that ancestry all the way back to the motherland, to Africa, to the drum, and to our original form of communication, which is movement, right?
Come on.
Before we were able to speak, articulate, write, or what have you, we were signing that. And when that beat drops, even a baby's gonna dance.
Your body just be like,
just goes. And so
if you got that soul in you, your body just start clicking.
so
off
that
beat.
instrumental to me felt like dance. And so I had to do an essay, if you will, around the history of movement as it pertains to my life, as it pertains to the
Damn,
culture.
come on. You talk
I wanted
about
to unpack some of the
the culture,
luminaries.
the African ancestry, the how it was like messaging, you know, like
Facts.
it wasn't just
It's a
for
story.
fun. Yeah,
Right.
it was telling the
It's our
story,
folklore.
griots and villages. And then to that point about it being connected to the origin, you also had an element that is often lost in hip hop nowadays, is the scratching.
Mhm.
You have V Dot actually start
Shout
cutting
find
shit up.
Richie. Yeah, I
Yeah.
felt like it was important to highlight the DJ on it. There's these big, spaces in the beat that I asked Carnage to put in
Yeah.
because I felt like there needed to be a narrative. And so like I went out and I sourced those different samples that you hear where the woman's talking about the
Talking,
history
yeah,
of
the
dance,
dance.
and it's super anthropological and shit, and you feel like you're almost watching
Woo, bars.
Discovery Channel. And so like I had to have that in there, but then like we culture vibe, we EO Dub, it's not just the MC out here and not the rapper, but the MC, but there's also the DJ who's the backbone of this whole shit. And so like I was watching footage of B-boys dancing and different battles, Rocksteady shit, BC1, all these different, and like just getting inspired. And that's what got me in those bars, you know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about times to still, defy, break the axis. All that shit is like watching cats do
Get
power
busy,
moves.
yeah. And you're almost
you're
like narrating
yo,
it
and I'm
kind of
narrating,
with a
bro.
historical context.
We're gonna pray
Yeah,
over
but
your
also-
bones, thank the God for the blessing. Like when I see a B-boy and he does this shit and then he looks over you,
Yeah.
that's what I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying?
Woo! Come on,
It's
yo.
like, we gonna pray over your bones.
Yo, let me also share
Facts.
that those long chunks with the cutting also in this now 2022 world provide space for B-boys to get ill.
Yo.
So like your record could be one of them records at Rocksteady.
So
that
if you
they-
know any B-boys being, send them that soul
B
movement.
girls.
B girls, tap them in. Be human,
Fact.
tap them in. Any DJ who DJs those types of events, tap them in.
Yo, let me go somewhere else.
But yeah, and also like bringing back that soul clap, right? And like
Oh,
leaving pockets in the record to MC and to do call and response and to like engage your audience. So like all of this shit is super methodical.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and go real personal, granular level.
Yeah.
Is like I actually was driving home, a long drive home one time, and that song had been released, you know what I'm saying? And I pulled up to your crib in the
Facts.
AM in the morning.
Yes.
And it was when I had just arrived in town. I pulled up.
We got a
hopped
lady
out
outside.
the whip.
You could go
And
see
we
that.
had an
You can see that
adventure.
in my reels or in my old footage. You can see that when Zoo pulled up and we had the Soul Movement release dance
Dance
off,
party outside
Outside in
at
the
like
street,
9 in the morning.
doing
That's a true
fucking
story.
crazy guy shit.
Yo, let me take you
I'm
somewhere.
outside in my chanclas and all that. That's a fact. Hit records.
Bro,
Call the radio station.
Charlie Johnson.
This is a song about
Sing this with your kids. Post the wheel. Get you and your kids singing this in the car. You about to do a giveaway. The magic giveaway. Hey.
I wanna show you the magic.
We got another one. Hit Records. Salute.
Now and forever, magic. Sun, moon, and stars. It's all you. Wonderful inside you. Magic.
Hit Records. Let me hear it first. The Man Cave.
Supernatural electrical beat, made perfect as image, all scenes. Let me show you your heart's a sacred gem. Pure potential you seek what lies within you. Red pill, open up looking in.
Hey.
Hope the spell is designed to only win. Cast it a wand, left you on a win. The magic dies and focus tap you in.
Let's go.
I wanna show you your magic.
Yeah,
Reach for it all, just
it's too much. It's too much.
Hey.
I gotta really end the Bear Cave Show. Welcome to the Bear Cave Show. My name is Big Zoo. This is the Brethren Prolific One.
What
We're
up, what up?
unpacking his album called In the Red.
Big
Now,
facts.
I want us to get a time check. What time do you
I
think we
think
have
we
to
probably
finish?
got about 20 more minutes.
Oh, word
on
that
the
much?
live.
Okay, bet. So then,
Because we restarted at 10:10. So
okay, so there's two other songs I really want to get to, but let's
yeah,
unpack.
yeah.
Let's unpack Magic.
Magic. Wow.
Magic.
So-
Magic. Again, produced by who?
This is a Charlie Wonka song, man.
Wow.
I got 2 Charlie Wonka records. I feel like I made it, Mom. Because this guy is gonna be the next hit-making producer in a couple
He's
of weeks.
gonna have Grammys.
I
yo.
promise you. Like we're going to get Grammys with Charlie
Yo,
Wonka.
if you out here, Charlie Wonka, if
Facts,
you
yo.
see this, if one of your friends play this back for you, you so nice, my G.
Facts.
Yo, hold on. You
So,
might have to just
Charlie Wonka, like, I was lucky enough to meet him again through the EOW Beat Challenge. Shout out Dama Mills, y'all. Shout out Soulful.
Yeah.
Shout out Nuns.
Pro.
And
I just gotta let it drop.
we gotta hear it.
Oh.
Oh!
This is a song about magic. I don't rock that magic.
Hey.
So excited.
Okay, my bad.
Hold
I had
on,
to
I'm
just-
starting on.
I had to just give him the tasty.
Oh, starting out
Um,
too much, bro.
Yo, Peep How,
So magic.
the magic. Again through the Beat Challenge, which
So I
is
had
a
to-
show. I want to formally shout these people out one more time though. Shout out to Sos, shout out to Dama, and shout out to Nunzio.
Love y'all.
That would be Nunzio's 5th shout out.
That's a
today.
fact. Love
Fifth,
y'all. Thank you so
Nunzio.
much for creating this talent pool. You know what I'm saying? For us as artists to work and collaborate together. You know what I'm saying? And again, the collective, the family, the team makes everything possible. You know, at the day, even when I'm not dubbing, I'm dubbing. I'm always dubbing. I live dubbing. You know what I'm saying? It's my
Bloodline.
lifestyle shit.
Bloodline ting where I deal with.
So I had already done Honeymoon with Wonka.
Mm.
And it was like, I got the singer on it. You know what I mean? I executive produced. I did my Diddy shit on it. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
So I sent Wonka the record. I was like, bro, like,
Is that him singing on it?
so on Magic is Troy Weeks. And that came through my brother, Real Big Ox, yo. So salute Real Big Ox. Shout out to
Wow, family
For,
ting
like,
again.
yo, and I went out and for everybody like who I tried to send those records to, and you didn't want to do the records or you fucked up and you didn't get back to me.
Plagiarism.
I mean, come on, bro. When we at Disneyland and I'm up on the castle with the fireworks at the Rose Bowl parade, my nigga, like I told you to sing the song, Boppy. Sing it like I tell you.
Wow.
Anyway, so he sent me the record, and I was hanging out with Vincent, who's my son. For those of you who don't know, he's 10 years old.
What up,
and-
Vince?
And the beat just popped. You know what I mean? We're listening to it in the car, and I'm like, this feels like.
Yeah. And Vince in
like-
the back seat, like,
Now he front seat. He's a big
Oh.
guy now.
Uh-oh,
You know
big
what I'm saying?
big front seat, baby.
And we're like, yo, and I'm, you know, because he's like very serious. My son is like,
Focus.
Sometimes like I'm the kid and he's the grown up. So this is one of those for instances where like I'm like, oh, you hear this? And he's just like, yeah. But I broke him down, and after a while I could see he was jazzed
Getting
up.
with it, yeah.
And you know, for me, music and words, they go together. And when I hear the song, I'm really just trying to find what the music is telling me what to say.
So what is magic in the song?
So so the record is about the magic that lives in all of us.
Inside you,
Is the magic that exists within us from the moment that we're conceived to the moment that we transition to a new force. You know what I'm saying? And it's about honing that power, understanding it, and not only honing it, but owning it, right? Because a lot of times in life, we let our dreams go, we forfeit on them, they're deferred, we give up on our magic. You know what I'm saying? We give up on the true gifts that we were granted from the universe, from the creator, from light, from wherever.
Are y'all here with me here? Are y'all hearing this?
So magic is really meant to be an inspirational record, right? And when I think about it, and when you think about it, I want you to think about what you ever dreamed about being and who you ever dreamed of becoming, and use that song as the vehicle, gasoline to get you to that place. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Whether you're 4 or 45 or 400, like magic is about harnessing your magic.
That's fantastic. I hear when you share that record, you're always like, you are magic, or like you have magic. And it's like you're trying to inspire that in other people. That's really dope. Another super hit record. I want to
records, put it on your story.
Hit,
you know what I'm saying? Hook me up with
two
a
more
view, with a
records.
spin.
Don't forget, this is the Bear Cave. My name is Big Zoo. I'm here with the brethren. His name is Prolific One. Please make sure you're following both of us, and please make sure you check out his current album, In the Red. We're unpacking the album, and we're gonna unpack 2 more songs.
Vice VZ.
Let me hit you with this
Eye to
one.
Eye Music.
Yeah. Strong.
Alcatraz Ed, what up?
3 hearts.
Shout out to Yemi.
What up, Yami? Hey.
Alcatraz.
Shout out to Sos, Julio, Danny. Shout out to James Bong, Van Guardian.
Freezing through a cold summer. Must be the number. Hearts on the table, open-handed, miss a lover. When you on my sleeve, cut until you bleed. Torn internally, you were every part of me. You were everything in me. Best in the worst, blessing or a curse. You were every bit of worth. Hey, anything I value, cherish, oh dear. Holes in my body when you were not here. Sour grapes on the floor, hanging on the wall. Faced with the pressure, staring at the front door. Waiting for the call, yeah, just to see you all. Memory is spring, let me hit you when you fall. Just let go of me like sun.
Hey. Pro vocalist.
I don't want to think like this, move like that. Why I gotta feel like this? This is the truth. Why you gotta do that, love? Let's get back, and we gotta write this shit. Train on track. I don't wanna move like this.
Woo! Hey yo, back
You gotta
down.
go get the album.
Back down, bro. You singing?
No, my brother.
You singing?
You got to get your own. You heard?
Right?
You gotta go search this
Yo,
out.
and I just want to say, if you want to support the God, go Artist Direct, okay? You're going to get that deluxe limited edition download to your laptop. Cop that merchandise. We got beautiful t-shirts, hoodies, all available, all designed by my man JT List. So if you want to do me that solid and support the movement, really, really, always support the Artist Direct. All of my collaborations are done with living artists, active artists who are out here actually manifesting their dreams. So, you know what I'm saying? Support for me and support for them, and you support the community.
And
So
in
back
that,
to
in,
Three
that,
Hearts.
in that same vein, though, you did a magnificent piece there. I also want to just again highlight Mad Horny, the label, right?
Hey,
Me and P both have the hat on.
you see us.
Shout out to Miguel. Shout out to the company. It's called Mad Horny.
What up, Fresh?
Shout out to supporting your people. So as Pro was talking about Artist Direct, these hats are what you might call Artist Direct. We purchase them from the person who makes them, not a big manufacturer, not Macy's, not Bloomingdale's. We got these from the brother himself.
Support living artists.
Facts. Now, 3 of Hearts, yo.
Yeah, 3 of Hearts.
3 of Hearts, another very personal record. So
Yeah.
now, this is a record I kind of kept in the tuck to talk about until now because, again, knowing the layers behind how much this record, the meaning behind it, I wanted to allow you to really unpack it for the audience. People might hear this one and not recognize the depth that you're going, and again, the honesty that you're speaking with. So
yeah, so the Three Hearts record, well, the music is produced by my brother Alcatraz Ed, who's actually a cat that I've known since we were like 13 years old, like back in the day. And the way that even he came back into my life during this time, where like I had re-emerged and found my creativity, is incredible too. Right?
that's dope.
So again, like a person that I knew X amount of years ago, fast forward to me having this rough time in life, insert this person, and he ends up producing again 2 tracks on the
It's a
album.
fact. He might actually have a song on the Gods of the Basement.
You
album.
talking
But
GOB?
we're not gonna talk that yet.
We're not talking
Just
GOB shit.
don't talk that yet. Let's go back to you got back with him. He
Gods
sent
of the
you.
Basement.
He sent you this food. He sent you some food.
So
some
he sent.
medicine.
So he sent me the medicine. He sent me the raw herbs and shit, and I broke them down. You know what I'm saying? And I conjured them up. Alchemy.
You got
on.
the
But,
mortar and
I mean,
pestle.
what we're really getting to is the song is about my daughter, and it's talking about being estranged from my daughter, and you know, we haven't spoken or had a real meaningful relationship for several years. And anybody who knows me and knows who I am and my DNA knows that I've always defined myself as a parent, and I've always prided myself on being a parent, not in just providing materialistic type of way, but being involved, engaged, an active parent. I even have a feed called What's Poppin' Poppy that's all dedicated to like fatherhood and positivity around like giving support and stuff to dads. And so I was doing. It's interesting because I put down What's Poppin' Poppy probably around the time that I really came far removed from my life. And so sometimes in life we make decisions and we know the gravity of those decisions and we understand that there's going to be repercussions for them. But sometimes you make the decision because you feel that the benefit or the lesson that will be learned as a result of it will outweigh the temporary displacement or pain that you're going to feel based on it.
Yeah.
And so ultimately that's what happened, and that's what the
Yeah.
ultimate fracture point was. But there were other things that were,
I
you know,
know,
backloaded on.
and I'm gonna just say, even for the room, for the people listening to this, I just literally, I caught myself just now getting physically real quiet when I asked you that, because I know how much it impacts you. I wondered how you might respond to that in this
But
space.
so that's the importance of like the honesty coming out in the album, though, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able
But
to have
see,
this conversation.
even just now, you responded to it in a very clinical way.
Mhm.
But I know how layered it is, and it comes out in the music, you know.
And as it
And
should,
I
right?
don't know that, again, you know, we write something sometimes with so much meaning to us, and the casual listener might not grasp it. I'm trying to just drive home the point to those who go listen to the In the Red album. If you want to unpack any song with a magnifying glass, let it be this last song I shared, Three of Hearts. It's so vulnerable, and it's just so you really.
And that's why, like, even
yeah.
like the production of it, like, yeah, I sang it because I felt like this is the type of record that it's not even a singing so much as it's a prayer, it's a chant. You know what I'm saying? It's a mantra.
To live.
Just let go, give me life, son. You know what I'm saying? So it had to be my voice, it had to be my energy, and it had to be me saying and manifesting that prayer, right? It couldn't have been another artist on that particular song. And also, if you listen to the way that I did it, I didn't stack a bunch of vocals on it. I didn't auto
I
tune
know
it.
you just.
I
It was just
didn't
like from the heart vibe.
try
Yeah.
and overproduce it because I felt like I needed to like let it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's not an over manufactured product. It's a prayer.
Oof. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bear Cave. It's an exclusive show that will pop up live periodically, and you're going to get a glimpse into some people's albums. I thought no better way to, or he thought no better way to start this adventure than to unpack his album. This is a brother named Prolific One.
What up? What up?
He's my brother, and we're unpacking his album. He's sharing with you in a way that I don't know that you'll ever get in like a XXL interview. You know what I'm saying? This is very unique. I want to play one more song. Again, very emotional, very thoughtful, very important to me. We lost our close brother. His name is Vice Versus. We were the Three Kings. You know, me, myself.
always are.
We always are. We always are the Three Kings. And frankly, Vice passed away. Those people that know him in the salute, those people that know him that are out there on IG Live, you know what I'm saying? Throw some fire emojis, some microphone emojis up there for Vice Versa. And throw your V's up, you know what I'm saying? Throw your peace signs up back to back for Vice Versa. But we're going to play this song and unpack this record. This record is called Running Through My Mind.
We got a lot of African kids. We got people in the land. We got people in Argentina. We got people in Spain. The same shit that we get from New York. Here we go.
Is this memory or dream? No, we riding clean. Booster in the green, slope, Basel 19. South Beach, we the scene. Art inspiring. Build your spirit high. Always knew that we were kings. Brought up in the jungle, destined to make them sing. Music playing, sun burning, Central on they gleam. 1-800 Lucky Robbie Glass, but look the team. Under stars, spitting bars, reminding me of me. Details always haunt me when they play back on the screen. Bianca's paying for Jerome, running in the breeze. Jackson Turner hung with homie, clubbing, now we breathe. Murals on the wall with your face like us in Wynwood. Days keep passing and it's been a minute since we've been good. So I'm sitting drip on wood and give these moments live. Inspire me to wake up and pursue my deepest wish. Out of eye from two eyes, on I forever miss.
Shine, running through my mind. Cascades past by, running through my mind. Only God knows why. Let your spirit fly. Sunset, sunrise, rising to the sky.
Oh, we're not gonna get that.
I know. I spit.
Yo, he slept you right now.
You
Yo,
gotta
Big
go
Zoo
to
got
the
that
album.
verse on the album.
You
And let me
gotta.
just say, this is the only other rap artist on the album. Be clear. Be clear about my album and the build and the design of it.
I just did the one today.
There's no other rapper rapping on Pro's album.
There's a great deal of collaboration.
There's singing, there's collaboration,
Yeah.
there's harmonizing, there's vocalizing, there's keys, there's production, but there's not another rapper rapping on it.
That's a fact. Wow.
This is a Three Kings album because Vice will be the only other person talking even
On the
close to
album,
rapping
yikes.
on the album.
Yo, y'all are hearing some amazing things right now, but that record is called Running Through My Mind. It's dedicated to our brother Vice Versa.
Shout out.
I am on the album. I'm on that song. You got to go listen to the album and hear my verse. You heard? Please give us a little background about that record.
What a record, bro.
Woo!
What a journey.
Come on, break that down so people can recognize.
So that record started here in the summer of 2019
Wow.
with us sitting in the backyard drinking and doing the things that we do in the yard. And you saying, yo, I got a beat.
It's the summer of 2020.
Is it 2020?
Just for the record,
All right.
yeah.
2020, excuse me.
Mhm.
Pardon self. And you were like, I just hear through my mind. This was the motherfucker telling me. I just hear through my mind. And I was like, all right, bad. And so we keep drinking and we keep
Building.
massaging out the words and
Even to the when you call him, when you need
and
him.
I was like, this feels like a gospel. Like this needs to be, and I could hear multiple vocal. And then I was like, all right, let me just take that home to. And this was a different beat, by the way. This song was actually designed to different production.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so all a lot of the melody and harmony was written to a different soundtrack. So I took the record and then I'm working on the red and I'm thinking to myself, this really feels like emotionally it falls into the right context of the album and it gives an opportunity for all of us to showcase.
Yeah.
And
It's perfect.
It's like
I
a
remember the
perfect
day you
ad.
hit me like,
Yeah.
dude, you gotta give me.
can I get that
Let me
record?
Get that. B. Yo, I also want to just point that out. Even outside of music, that's an example of true manifestation. Like we sat in my backyard and like envisioned it, and then it happened.
Yeah.
So I just want to really highlight, even outside of music, it's beautiful to envision something and then make it become flesh. You know what I'm saying? To make it happen. So this song is also just our ability to like rub two sticks together and build a palace.
But it's also a testament to our community and to the community that we worked so hard and invested so much time and effort into building, right? Because when I think about Sinclair, when I think about Soulful Souls, when I think about Shelly Garcia, when I think about Mishu, when I think about Erica Johnson, when I think about you, Jason, and myself, and Nunzio, you know what I'm saying, coming together.
Yeah,
to
Soul's produced on that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Soulsmatic.
But like Souls produced it after we did the beat challenge to find a replacement
Yes,
producer.
still.
Because let me just say, the first producer, even though we was doing it on the strength of Bro, didn't even want to go the right.
I know, don't go
route.
there. Don't even
But the energy was vanquished by my man Souls and like 6 other producers. So we actually have
there's so many layers.
5
to this.
remixes
Wait
to
a
this
minute,
album
though,
that
wait.
we're gonna drop.
We have multiple remixes.
To raise
I want
money
us-
for the Versus project, but
I want us to make sure we wrap this up appropriately. I'm gonna act like we're finished at 11:10. I want to salute everybody who pulled up to this live. This is the Bear Cave Show. My name is Big Zoo. Tonight I had the pleasure of doing this with my brother Prolific One, and it's really his idea. And I like to just hop out and make it sound fly, but Pro brought this to fruition, and I really want to salute your efforts. Before we dead off anything specifically, let's drive it home on the album.
so this is just the beginning, right? In the Red was a snapshot of a time period for me. And I feel like it's really important for people to absorb it and to take it artistically for all of its artistic merit. I feel like I wasn't chasing like numbers as a goal, but I'm chasing emotional connection as a goal. I'm chasing the ability to bring you to places and for you to see the pictures that I painted and for you as a human to empathize with that and hopefully for it to help build you and to make you stronger and grow you. And so like that's how you should approach the project. It really was
Well
therapeutic for me. It's not a rapper making a rap album. It's an artist making a musical,
Making art, making an art collection.
making an art collection.
They can find this information.
Prolific1.art is the website. So you
It's
know,
Prolific,
W
WONE.
Big facts. And I want you to tap in. I would love for you to download the music directly. I would love for you to have the t-shirt. Everything is limited edition. So like once the press is closed on it, nothing else is going to be sold. The quality is ultra premium, and that's what we pride ourselves in. It's not just being the purveyors of the content, but also the purveyors of high quality content. So tap in, support living artists. I love y'all all. I respect y'all, and I hope that you will find my album In the Red when you need it. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Because you might not need it right now, but at some point, the medicine will be there. Facts.
Wow, that's messages for tonight. Remember, we had a 5 count on Nunzio shoutouts. Remember to send each other the medicine when we need it. Remember,
11-11.
Prolific One album In the Red right now. Go support, cop the merchandise, peep the art collection. And remember, this has been the Bear Cave Show. My name is Big Zoo.
Prolific One.
Prolific One.
Hey yo, Vice VZ
Championship. Yo, look what we
Yo,
just be. Yo, we just make stuff happen. Salute to everybody in EO Zoom, gang. Salute to everybody on IG, gang.
You already know.
And
what it is. We
thank
love
you for
y'all.
this experience.
Light and love, yo. You already know. Ping, ping.
Wow. Damn.
Yo, love y'all. Salute.
That shit
Appreciate you tapping
exceeded my
in.
expectations.
In the Red is available right now. Prolific1.art. Support artists direct. You feel me? Please come back and watch. I'm gonna repost this shortly so you can watch the whole interview in its entirety. Light and love always. Vice versa forever. Eye to eye music. Yo, dub. Bum, bum. All right, we can cut now, folks.